In the political world, it's time now for a few must-read op-eds. Washington Post columnist Mark Thiessen ends each year with his lists of the 10 best and 10 worst things the sitting president did over the course of the year. Yesterday, he posted his list of the 10 best things he says Biden did in 2022. His list of 10 worst things will come out later today. But let's focus on the best. Let's read through them. 10. He acted to prevent a crippling national rail strike. 9. He is sending B-52s to Australia to counter China. 8. He launched a full-court press against China's domestic semiconductor industry. 7. Biden signed the first bipartisan gun legislation in decades. 6. He secured extradition of the terrorist charged with the bombing Pan Am Flight 103, which killed 190 Americans. 5. He kept Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps on the U.S. list of foreign terrorist organizations. 4. Biden won support for Finland and Sweden to join NATO. 3. Biden killed al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri. 2. He declared the United States will defend Taiwan. And 1. He saved Ukraine. Mark also notes that, quote, Biden turned in the best first midterm performance of any president since John F. Kennedy, except for George W. Bush after the 9/11 attacks. That is an impressive achievement. So, John Heilemann, this was a list focused on matters both domestic and particularly foreign policy, ending with the idea that President Biden saved Ukraine. What'd you make of that list of accomplishments?
Well, look, we're Mark Thiessen, just for most of our viewers know this, right? Mark Thiessen is a very conservative guy.
Yeah.
And so to see the fact that a conservative out there, someone with genuine conservative bona fides, as far like what used to be considered the far right before we had MAGA Republicans, could come up with 10 things. Those are not small things. Mark Thiessen knocked off 10. My guess is that if those are his top 10, he's got a few that didn't make the cut that are significant also. And some of those are big deals. You start getting to save Ukraine, that's a pretty big deal. And so, I know we got 10 that he didn't like coming today. All good. We'll wait and we'll read those tomorrow. Hopefully you'll do that. We'll hear what he has to say. But it does raise the question to me, Brendan Buck. It raises this issue, which is, Joe Biden wanted to have bipartisan success. He wanted to be able to basically say, I got things done that Republicans could agree with. And he's been, on both the domestic and the foreign front, he claims to have done some things that Republicans should be able to get behind if they were acting in good faith. Is the Mark Thiessen list not kind of the proof in the pudding in some ways? Joe Biden can point to that and say, if you're not an elected Republican, but you're a genuine conservative like Mark Thiessen, when it comes to my foreign policy, take a look at this list. These are things that every true principled conservative should be able to get behind.
Yeah, it was notable. You noted he's a conservative. There were a lot of legislative things that actually aren't on that list that were bipartisan.
Yeah.
The infrastructure bill, the CHIPS bill. There was a stretch there where they were actually getting a lot done. Look, you know this. The incentives there are not for bipartisanship anymore. The incentives are there to tear down the other party. We are defined by negative partisanship. But I do think on foreign policy, this is a place where I think conservatives have been at least a little bit more consistent and where they can be proud of what Joe Biden did. Look, Ukraine alone could be its own list. All of the things that he's done in terms of building international alliances, staving off Russia. I mean, these are things that conservatives have talked about for a very long time, and I do think that there are some people willing to give him credit for those things. So it's not a totally lost 2 years if you're Republicans if you open your eyes to it.
Peter Baker, perhaps it's not surprising that Thiessen left off some of the domestic Democratic accomplishments, like the reconciliation package that Joe Manchin eventually signed off on with the climate change goals. But I want to focus on a couple of the foreign policy ones we just mentioned, Ukraine, and there were a couple there on China. Undoubtedly significant accomplishment for 2022. But, Peter, wouldn't you also say a preview of the challenges that face Biden ahead in 2023 with both Ukraine and Beijing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think, first of all, you're right. Of course, this is a conservatives list of things that Biden has done that a conservative can agree with. The liberals would put a different list together, right? The climate change and same-sex marriage, codification, a lot of other things would probably be on a Democrat's list that wouldn't be on Mark Thiessen's list. That's fine. But on foreign policy, I think you're right. I mean, the Ukraine thing, he doesn't get a lot of public credit for it because it could have been so much worse. And in fact, this is a bipartisan moment, as Brendan said, because Republicans have supported all these expenditures of American taxpayer dollars to pay for arms for Ukraine. This has been an area where the two parties have largely come together. Doesn't mean Republicans don't have some criticism of the way Biden has handled it, but broadly speaking in Washington, there's a bipartisan consensus if you take away sort of the pro-Putin caucus of the far right. And I think that that's gone relatively well for President Biden. We are both supporting and saving, to use Mark Thiessen's word, Ukraine, at the same time not expanding or escalating the war to the point that we are directly involved ourselves. That's a high priority for President Biden. He doesn't want this to become an American war in a direct sense. We don't know what the next year is going to bring in that regard. We don't know whether that will continue, but that is, I think, the number one foreign policy challenge for President Biden going into the new year is how to keep the successes that Ukraine has enjoyed on the ground going without, taking this to another level, without Putin using a nuclear weapon, without NATO being dragged in some way in a direct, combat kind of way. And there's no guarantee it will continue to go well in that regard, but that's obviously number one priority, I think, for the foreign policy team at the White House.